Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the What's Next on Martin Bakole, Heavyweight Contender, following his awesome TKO victory over Jared Anderson on the Riyadh season supercard that took place on August 3rd and was headlined by Crawford and Madrimov. Today I got a guest in the room, Little True Boxing.
Hello.
So kids have been wanting to get on my videos recently, but before we get into the Bakole and what's coming up, if you guys could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So Martin Bakole scored a monster win. It might have been the win of the whole card on August 3rd, and you know that's a big deal when you have those super cards like that. To make a huge statement, pull off an upset, and really throw your name into the serious mix, really, you know, sets you aside from everybody else. It really does. And Martin Bakole did that. It was a fantastic knockout. I think he scored the only knockout of the main card, and you know, upsetting Anderson. And there was a lot of people that thought that he could pull that off. And he looks mean, and he looks like he's ready to take on the big dogs in the heavyweight division. And the heavyweight division is on fire right now. There's a lot of big names there and a lot of big fights to be made. So now the big question for Bakole following that win is what's next for him. So we're going to run through the top 10 and see what possibilities are. But I will tell you that I just read in the last day or two that Zhilei Zhang, the Chinese heavyweight power puncher, is in the mix with Bakole to possibly fight him on the huge Fury Usyk rematch card that takes place on December 21st. So that would be a monster fight for Martin Bakole right there. But let's run through the rest of the top 10. We'll get to Zhang in a couple minutes and see what could be possible. We start with Alexander Usyk, the reigning unified heavyweight champion. That's not going to happen. Usyk's fighting Fury next. So Bakole just not in the mix for that. Then you got Tyson Fury. Fury is fighting Usyk next in their rematch. So that's not going to happen. Then you got Anthony Joshua. Joshua's fighting Daniel Dubois for the IBF title on September 21st. And a report just came out within the last day that Joshua and Eddie Hearn are going to make a huge offer to fight Tyson Fury next. So if Joshua beats Dubois to become the IBF champ, he's either going to fight Tyson Fury for sure, or he could get a third fight with Usyk. So if Joshua loses to Daniel Dubois, he's definitely not going to fight Martin Bakole after that. Then you got Daniel Dubois, who is the IBF champion. I believe if Dubois pulls off the upset, it's going to depend on what happens with the Fury Usyk winner. If Dubois beats Anthony Joshua, I think Dubois is going to move to the front of the line for the Fury Usyk winner. I'm sure he'd want a rematch with Usyk if Usyk beats Fury in their rematch. And I'm sure Fury wants to become undisputed. So I think he would fight Daniel Dubois from there. Now, would a guy like Martin Bakole be a possibility for Dubois? Maybe, but I think Dubois might want to look for a bigger name before he takes on a guy like Bakole, who's a dangerous guy with not such a huge name behind him yet. Then you got Joseph Parker. I think this is a possibility if the Zhilei Zhang fight doesn't happen. I absolutely think it's a possibility because Parker is the other hot non-champion, if that makes sense, on the rise right now in the heavyweight division. You know, he's coming off of those two big wins, upsetting Deontay Wilder last year and then pulling off the other upset over Zhilei Zhang. So Parker's kind of the hot commodity outside of those big four right now. So a lot of people want to see Parker fight somebody big. And I think Martin Bakole could be that guy, and it could take place on that undercard. You know, that's just a rumor about Zhilei Zhang and Martin Bakole next. And then you got Zhilei Zhang, the Chinese power punching heavyweight. I mean, I definitely think it's a possibility. Zhang is a hot right now, following his fights with Parker and then his great knockout of Deontay Wilder. So Zhilei Zhang is rolling. Martin Bakole is rolling. I think these two trains could run right into each other right here in December, but it's all up in the air. I mean, if the rumors are true that him and Bakole could be next, I mean, that's going to be a big-ass fight right there for Martin Bakole, and I would love to see it. Then you got Filip Hrgović. I only see Hrgović being an option if he really wants that smoke against Bakole following his loss to Dubois. You know, Hrgović got stopped in that fight, suffered his first loss. It's a tale of two worlds right there of what you would rather do coming off a loss. You want to go right back into the serious mix and take a chance, or you go after, or you just go after lesser competition, just try to shake off the loss, you know? I think Hrgović is going to go more in that direction, but you never know. We got to see what happens. I'm leaning towards the less likely on him, though. Then you got Joe Joyce. I don't think Joe Joyce coming off of a loss to Derek Chisora. I don't think he wants anything to do with a guy like Bakole. And for Bakole, that might be a big step back anyways. Then you got Ajit Kabayel, who is rolling. This dude is, you know, beating Arslanbek Makhmudov last year, and then stopping Frank Sanchez and making it look easy. I really believe there's like a 4 or 5 man mix right now of guys outside of those top 4 that are fighting each other between Usyk and Fury and Joshua and Dubois that are really gonna like circle around each other and possibly make these big fights. And Kabayel's in that mix as well. I think it's Kabayel, I think it's Bakole, and I think it's Parker and Zhang. So say Zhilei Zhang and Joseph Parker decide to fight in a rematch, I could see Kabayel and Bakole fighting each other. Now, does Bakole want to take on a crafty guy like Kabayel? He may or may not, you know, but so I'm leaning towards the less likely, but I wouldn't completely rule it out because these dudes might just want to make a statement on a big fucking card. So we'll see. Then the guys outside of the top 10, at least coming in. First, the rematch with Jared Anderson ain't going to happen. Anderson ain't going to want to fight Bakole again. But a serious option for Bakole that he mentioned the night of the fight was rematching the only man to ever beat him, and that was Michael Hunter. So Michael Hunter says he's down. I do think that's a possibility for Bakole, probably more than even a guy like Kabayel. I think if Parker and Zhang work out a deal, I think you're going to see Bakole and Michael Hunter on the undercard as well. I think Turki Al-Sheikh is going to try to stack that fucking card in December for these big heavyweight guys. And I think a rematch for Bakole against Michael Hunter would be huge for him on a big card, and it would make a fucking statement, you know? Then you got Efe Ajagba. Would love to see it, but I don't think Ajagba wants to get back into that serious mix against a guy like Bakole, at least not yet. But then again, maybe he would. Because Ajagba, if you really think about it, he's kind of that guy that's kind of been left out in the cold. You know, maybe he was being brought to possibly be the next challenger for Jared Anderson. Well, Jared Anderson is out of the picture after losing this fight with Bakole. So Ajagba might want to throw his name into the mix, and maybe he fights a guy like Bakole if Bakole can't land any of these other big fights. But I have a hard time believing after that kind of victory that Bakole's going to be that avoided to where he's got to go to a guy like Ajagba. Lenny Arpero, not a big enough name, and Mike Perez. The only shot I think Mike Perez has of getting against a guy like Bakole is if Bakole wants to, you know, can't find anybody else and he just wants to get a quick knockout. And that's what I think Mike Perez would be. So for Martin Bakole, it's kind of up in the air. I do think there's some real legitimacy to the rumors of him and Zhilei Zhang. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Joseph Parker work out a deal. And then Michael Hunter. I think it's one of those 3 guys outside shot of a guy like Ajit Kabayel. So we'll see what happens. But I'm really excited to see what Martin Bakole decides to do next, because he really gave the heavyweight division another big shot in the arm, which is a big deal. You know, I mean, he made a big splash on a big card, and now he can see what that gets him. So we'll see what goes down, but that's it. That's what I got. That's my what's next on Martin Bakole, the heavyweight contender, following his outstanding technical knockout victory of Jared Big Baby Anderson on the August 3rd Riyadh Season Supercard. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. This is True Boxing, and that's Little True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.